Each day that you practice, the great profundity and significance will become more meaningful to you.
Relax completely. Breathe slowly and quietly for several moments.
Okay, before this hype train goes off the rails, for all you aspiring audio forensic nerds, I should make it clear that phase inversion is not a perfect science. Unless if the two sources that you're trying to cancel out are flawless and lined up perfectly, chances are you're going to end up with something like this. But I'm going to try to do a little better than that. With that said, the other day I was going through some of my data backups and found a legit Windows Movie Maker project that me and my friend did back when we were like 10. We called it Kitty Anna Jones. As you can see, it was a pretty big hit. We even partnered up with Green Day, did a music video remix. I wish I was joking. I was right on that edge of 10 to 11 where I was starting to, I guess, have a little more self-awareness, and I decided I'd mask the cringe of 10-year-old creativity and hopes and dreams by blasting Green Day over the dialogue. I'd say the same for the sepia filter and film grain, but that was a genuine stylistic choice. I still stand behind that 100%. Now, about that audio. If you hadn't noticed, it's
not good.
Kind of difficult to make out exactly what is being said. So let's try and isolate this audio and reclaim this masterpiece. Some of the most popular ways of isolating audio is EQing, every noob's go-to. You cut off the bass, some of the treble, you find those hot midpoints and reduce those, and then congratulations, it now sounds 1% better. Yeah, that's not winning any awards. Okay, what about noise reduction? American Idiot's like 73% noise, so can we? The best way to go about this would be to find a point that's not in the song and try to reduce the audio signature of the song while retaining the fidelity of the actual voice. So in this little spot, I'm talking and Connor's talking. Okay, that's gonna be very obnoxious just to make a point, but we're gonna go for it. No, that's not. And what about inversion? All you need is a clean version of the audio source that you want to remove, and then you just invert it and overlay, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. Now, phase inversion might sound kind of complicated at first, but it really isn't. Think about the way a speaker works. It's literally just a vibration generator that makes vibrations that sound like other vibrations. If you look at a slow-mo clip of a subwoofer, you'll see it's just pulsing back and forth to produce a low-frequency bass vibration. That vibration is the product of an audio file sending instructions to your amplifier to generate, for example, this sine wave. While these instructions become much more complex with actual music files, our friendly little sine wave does a great job at showing that the principle is the same. Here's a 200 Hz sine wave, here's the inverse of that 200 Hz sine wave, play them together, and they cancel each other out. Now let's crack this project. I started off on iTunes and ripped American Idiot, but I don't recommend ripping music because pirating is illegal and Apple is struggling, guys. They need our support. That was a joke. Actually, the real reason is that these older songs often get another layer of digital mastering to be optimized for streaming. So why does this matter? Well, keep in mind the way phase inversion works, and then think of a CD version of a song like a 1x1 puzzle piece. This is what we could just call high fidelity. High fidelity audio sources tend to have cleaner bass, fuller mids, brighter treble. Here's a picture, high fidelity audio source. The spectrogram simply shows the entire spectrum is filled and there is no audio loss. The MP3 version, however, has about like 8% of its spectrum cut off in the high end, along with some subtle but important audio loss in the higher mids. With high bitrate MP3 files, the difference is virtually negligible to our ears, but, many audiophiles claim micro vibrations from those higher frequencies do provide some upper harmonic tones that are still interpreted by our brain and benefit the listening experience. So think of an MP3 like 92% of the 1x1 puzzle piece, and then try putting them together. You'll get a gap. And since there's no perfect way to fill that missing audio data, you get leftover noise that sounds something like this. But do we really need to worry about that in the grand scheme of things? Yes and no. Yes, because it's still leftover data and it sounds bad, but no, because in a moment you'll see that in practice, there's one more thing, or well, a few more things that completely changes the scope of our problems. So here we are in Logic. I played around with the source material in Audacity a little bit, but this is my first project on this scale, and I have my work cut out for me. If I didn't imply this earlier, I did end up scrapping the iTunes rip of American Idiot because I found a CD rip from YouTube. So we have the CD rip all lined up, it's inverted. However, one glaring issue. Despite these waveforms essentially creating the same audio, you can see that each bit of audio data seems to be at odd volumes and cross over at weird points. My first instinct was to adjust the volume to try to match that of the target, but as I zoomed out I realized something else. These songs are actually playing back at slightly different speeds. If I happened to have the actual CD that my 10-year-old self put in the project, I'd probably be in a lot better shape, but since both sources yielded this weird micro time stretch, the flex pitch tool and rhythmic time stretching was the way to go for me, and I went and lined up all the audio from the beginning of the clip to the end of the clip so that they match exactly. And remember, when you're inverting compressed audio against audio that was processed 9 years ago by a Windows Vista laptop, you're bound to run into some fidelity issues. Cheating on my wife aside, the audio quality was still shit too, like this video. Ooh, hey, okay, we're done. 2 hours of this, and it was really fun. The time honestly flew by pretty fast. Are you guys ready? Ladies and gentlemen, Kitty Jones, but I managed to remove about 70% of the overbearing punk rock music.
I need you to give me the map. Where's no map? Where's an aerial? Give me the I need to get that bottle. Hey, wait! Give me that bottle. Never find it. Oh, ow! Oh! Oh, why? Oh! Just run. I hope this is worth it. Because if I have to do this one more time, I'm going to freak out. I know it's going to be ridiculous. First clue. Second clue. Here I come.
I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever.
second clue. Go here. Okay. This isn't a canoe. Looks like an underground mine. But all the ways are closed. The only way to get out of it is to go all the way back. I can't do that. I need to find another way out. I need to get out of here. Well, it's not a canoe, but I found the treasure. Mine. I've heard many attempted to find the secret of the lost stone, but before they got halfway through, they suffered from the deadly traps that lie ahead. Clue. I gotta find where this clue leads. It's only a couple. Oh, darn it! It's too slippery to climb back up. Well, here it is. Or it's probably is. We're all failed. A lot. To complete your journey, you must place the rock in the hole and activate the attachment of the board. Go to right to right. What the heck fell? I gotta get out of here.